What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Financial Freedom Builders, where every conversation moves you one decision closer to financial freedom. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the page. This Tuesday coming up, we are hosting our monthly masterclass with our financial community, and the topic is 3 investing moves the wealthy make that most people learn too late. I'm telling you, it's a class you're going to want to learn how money operates and ultimately how the market moves. Because if you don't understand that the wealthy use the media to help propagate whatever it is that they're trying to do with the market, you will then realize that you are technically operating a little late to when the actual money is made. And so we're going to teach about some of that stuff coming up in this masterclass. And if you want access to it, comment or DM the word class in the comments below. We'll get you access to the class. You can access the community, kind of get access to what we're doing there, and then see if it's of benefit to you. But I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on with this market. So the last recording that we had this time last week, we told you guys that the market was looking like it was primed, ready to go higher. We talked about Tesla. We talked about HIMS, which has completely exploded. We talked about GameStop, which has already broken through the wall of $25, which we've talked about. Now, at the time of this recording, it is currently $25.01. And yesterday, it got up as high as $26 and almost 40 cents. So this has already cleared the wall. We understand there are bears and those that have been holding on these positions for a while, looking for a way to get off of their bags. So you're going to see a little bit of resistance. But in short order, you're going to see the volume gap take this from $25 all the way to $28, and that's where the fun begins. Because once it hits $28, euphoria will kick in, and it will take care of the rest on the back end. You know, if you guys have seen the show, the documentary Eat the Rich, you've seen how it went all crazy and whatnot. I can tell you now, although this is not financial advice, and this video is for education and entertainment purposes only, I don't see that we're going to see that kind of move this time with GameStop. But the euphoria will be there, and it will start to feel like old times. And all I will say is that you got to have an exit plan if you're going to get into the trade. We got a plan. We got an exit. We got our price targets. And you just need to understand when is it that you got to get out of the trade to make sure you're leaving profitable. But as the market continues to climb, we see now that we have broken through the $700 wall on the SPY, ticker symbol SPY. And now we've seen that the stock market has gone up to as high as $711. And then we've seen it recently cool off. Of course, you still got the uncertainty going on with the war in Iran. But as we said about in the last video, as long as bombs are not going off, this market will remain completely bullish. And just now, at the time of this recording, we heard news coming out from the White House that Lebanon and Israel have agreed to a 3-week ceasefire with their war. That means for the next 3 weeks, there won't be bombs going off in Lebanon, in Israel, and we already know that U.S. and Iran are currently as well in a ceasefire. So there are no bombs going off for a few weeks. Expect the market to respond accordingly. I think going into next week, we're going to see the SPY make a few different all-time highs. We may see it get to $714, $717, and potentially $720. Now, do I think the good times are going to roll forever? No, I do not. I do think that this run still has juice in it, and then, yes, we are going to experience a pullback. What will be the catalyst of the pullback? We will have to wait and see, but there are some things that are looming that can draw attention. Number one is we're going to have a new Fed chair coming in as early as next month, Kevin Warsh. He is currently being interrogated and going through some preliminary processes and being interviewed. But we're going to get him appointed, and then eventually he's going to take the chair and replace Jerome Powell. He is crypto. So that's something for the crypto bulls to be in mind, that once Warsh hits the office, although it may not be the next day, over the course of the next 12 to 18 months, you and I should see our crypto bags start taking a step higher. In the short term, I do see Bitcoin getting to at least as high as 86,000 in this run. And then we will have to assess to see what it wants to do next, whether it decides to reject or go back lower. Another stock that we recently been talking about is Tesla. Tesla recently reported earnings. Great earnings, overall pretty well. The only issue with Tesla that we're seeing is 2 things. Number one is that the competition in electric vehicles has significantly increased. And so because of that, Tesla, which used to be a long shot differentiator in the space, is now in the middle of a melting pot with a lot of companies globally that are also doing good quality work, and in some cases, dare I say, even better in the EV space. So the other piece is that, of course, as you know, in June, we're going to see the IPO, initial public offering launch, of the new company SpaceX, which is tied, of course, to Elon Musk. SpaceX is projected to have a market cap well over $1 trillion. So there's only so much money that can circulate in the world. So if they're expecting that SpaceX is going to absorb a ton of market cap from investors, then it leaves Tesla in the back burner for the time being. So 2 things to keep in mind regarding Tesla. Actually, I'll leave it with 3 as a bonus. The first thing is that as a long-term outlook for Tesla, Tesla's not going to go anywhere. We're going to see Tesla hit 500 again. It's going to go to 600, maybe even $700 in the future, maybe even $1,000 stock. The catalyst in the long term that will get it back up will be robotics. Once the robots start coming out, it's going to change the game for Tesla, and all attention will shift from SpaceX back to Tesla, and the run will continue. So don't think that it's over for Tesla. If you're a long-term investor, this is a great time to start getting more shares and start accumulating, because you may not be able to get these prices again once the robots launch. The second thing to keep in mind is regarding the EV space. Since Tesla doesn't have everyone's attention, then we got to identify, okay, where is the next move regarding the EV space? One stock I will leave on your radar for you to look into to do research on is the company NIO, ticker symbol NIO. This is a Chinese-based company that has a great quality EV product and just has been beaten down in stock price for a couple of years. We've seen NIO get up into the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and currently right now it is a little over $6.50. Huge opportunity for them to close the gap, especially as China stimulates more money into their economy, for NIO to close the gap in the EV space and see a significant run up. So keep your eye on NIO. The last piece regarding Tesla. If we did essentially reject from these earnings, which we saw get up to a high as 406 and start working its way back down, and today it got to as low as $368 a share, although it may not necessarily be confirmed yet that we're going straight down. But if there is a true pivot reversal, the unfortunate news I have for you here on this video is that we did not make a higher high off of our recent lows, which was originally $412. We stopped at $406, $407, which means that now we have from a technical analysis standpoint, a catalyst to go lower this time. And if you remember from our videos, which I will leave right here, we called the bottom on Tesla at $337. So if we're going lower this time, then you need to be aware that we may go below 337. And there are 2 warning checkpoints you need to be aware of. Below 337, the next one is $322. But if we go under 322, we may have a psychological stop at $300, but in reality, we're probably looking at somewhere in the mid 290s from here for Tesla. So that is one you're going to have to keep on your radar. One you will have to monitor and assess when you enter, when you exit, and how do you take advantage of that. And of course, we teach these skills, the analysis, and how for you to make profitable money in investing through Freedom Builders Academy. Of course, we'll leave that top comment below as well. Of course, access the masterclass with us. Meet with us next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We'll love to see you join us. Get the information you need to help you level up with your family. Be sure to comment or DM the word class, and we'll get you the information. We'll talk to you on the next one.